What is going on, fellow farmers? Welcome back to another episode of FS25 with your boy cjfarms. Today, guys, since the last time we were here, we had a little over 780K, I think. And as you guys can see, the money has dropped down to about 194K, and there's a very good reason for that. As you can see right over here, we did buy a brand new harvester, and we are going to sell the other one back. As a matter of fact, I need to do that real quick. Let's go ahead and sell the other harvester. Let's go to vehicles. I hope you guys are having a great week. Happy Monday, everybody. Even though I'm recording this video on Sunday, you guys will see this on Monday morning. So you guys will see it then. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm selling the right harvester. Okay, so we want to sell this one for 468K, so that'll give us a little bit more money back. All right, so up to 662K. We did buy this new harvester. Now, this is the most expensive harvester in the game. I think this one was right around 563K. So this is the most expensive harvester in the game, and I figured if we're going to get a new harvester and a better one, we might as well get the best one in the game. So we got this one. This is the Fent Ideal. And if we look inside of it here, it's very nice. I'm going to start it up for you guys. I don't think it has a beacon indicator. As you guys can see right here, it does have hazard indicators, right? And it's got light indicators showing you that the lights are on. But I have not seen, and as you guys can see, the beacons are flashing. But I have not seen a beacon indicator just yet. Now, there might be one, and I just may have totally, missed it. But I don't see one anywhere. Even up here, the light indicators work. If we go like this, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. The light indicators work there, but that beacon indicator there does not work, and I'm not too sure why. I don't know why I would have every other indicator except for the beacons. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop out to third person. Make sure. And the straw swath of the thing is really cool. We're not using straw swath, of course. But I'm going to show you guys. When you enable the straw swath, the tailboard actually comes out like this. I think it's really cool. So when the tailboard is out, that means our straw swath is enabled. When the tailboard is in, that means it is disabled. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty nice harvester. It's got just about the right size pipe on it that I like. I don't like a pipe that's too long or too short, but this one seems to be just about right. Let's get those beacons on, and let's start it up, and let's start harvesting our soybeans. So since the last time we were here, we were in the process of mulching field number 10, and I went ahead, let me unlock the speed. I did go ahead and finish up mulching field number 10, and I went ahead and cultivated field 10, and then we fertilized the fields, and then we planted, and now we have soybean to harvest. Is our speed unlocked? Yeah, it is. But this harvester actually has 627 horsepower, I think it is, to be exact. Now, I know last week in the last video, on Friday's video, we were talking about the story of Elijah. And I do want to correct myself on something, because when we were talking about that story, I had mentioned that it was either Elijah or Enoch that the angel had taken and shown him all the ends of the earth on what God created. It was actually Enoch. I went back and read and studied a little bit. It was Enoch. It was not Elijah. Elijah was the one that God raptured up into the whirlwind. When he outran the heavenly chariots, God raptured Elijah up into a whirlwind. Now, Elijah was a great prophet of God. He did many great things for God, and but he did not see death. Now, Enoch didn't see death either. Now, Enoch was the one that the angel took and showed him all the ends of the earth on what God created. He even took Enoch to the highest mountain. Enoch described in the Bible as, God took me to the highest of all mountains, where no other mountain was seen. And that's how high the mountain was. And the angel even took Enoch to the solar system, which in the Bible is known as the astronomical universe. But Enoch, the angel took Enoch up there and showed him how God had designed the solar system, and explained to him that the reason the planets were where they were and why they spin on their axis at a certain speed, every single planet, why the sun sits where it does, is not because of evolution or some kind of Big Bang theory that erupted from a meteorite. It's because those planets obey the laws of God. Now, isn't that something? Now, you think about that. You think about how those planets obey the laws of God, right? That's how God expects us to obey him. The way that those planets obey him, that's how God expects us to obey him. As good as perfect as those planets align, we're the third rock from the sun. We're Earth, right? So the Earth spins on the axis at a certain speed, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And it never, ever flaws. It's never a flaw. There's never a flaw in the axis of the Earth. There's never a flaw in the axis of the other planets. And the sun never moves. It never moves from its axis. That planet, planet Earth, God set that to spin on a certain axis. The world turns. We just don't realize it because it turns so incredibly slow, right? And my point is, the way that those planets obey the laws of God is how we're supposed to obey the laws of God. Those planets are in perfect line, and they never ever move. Think about it like this: the Earth, okay? If the Earth was to tilt off its axis even 1/8%, we would all burn alive. If the Earth was to stop spinning for even a split second, we would all quit breathing. We would no longer have oxygen. And the oxygen that we get is from the breath of God. A lot of people don't realize this, but when you walk outside and you feel the wind on your face, that is simply the breath of God keeping you alive. What does it say in Genesis when God created the man, right? How did he bring Adam to life? The Bible says that God leaned down and he breathed his life into the nostrils of Adam. That's how God created man. So God keeps us alive every day because he's simply breathing on us. And I think that's pretty amazing. And speaking of Genesis, when God created the man, he made us simply from dirt. We are made from dirt. And if you think about it like this, what does our body have that the dirt has? Minerals and vitamins, right? And then our body's made up of what, 80% water? It's like 80% water. So what are the things on the earth? The two things on the earth, like the flowers, the grass, the trees, what's the two main things they need to grow and live? Dirt and water, right? So it makes perfect sense to me that we're created from dirt and our body has to have water. We have to have water, man. If we don't have water, we will wilt away and die. And that's just the way it is. And it makes perfect sense to me that two of the main things needed on earth for the plants to live is dirt and water, because of the minerals and vitamins, right? And the water is the main thing that we need to live. And the other things is what? Vitamins and minerals. We got to have vitamins and minerals in our body in order to survive. So, and then when God created the woman, and I'm going to tell you guys what the term woman means. When God created the woman, he laid Adam down and he put him in a deep sleep. And he took one rib from Adam, operated on Adam. He took one rib from Adam and he gave it to the woman to create the woman. That's why every single woman on this earth has one extra rib than a man. If you look it up, it'll tell you. I can't remember how many ribs it is a man has or how many a woman has, but the woman has one extra rib. Every woman on this earth has one extra rib than a man. Now, the term woman just means wounded man. It just means wounded man. That's all it means, because when God created the woman, he laid Adam into a heavy sleep and he wounded him to get his rib out. That's all that the term woman means, is wounded man. That's simply it, man. And it's so simple to see the things of God, to see what he's created, to look at all the things that he's made for us to enjoy. And so many people take advantage of it. I'm really surprised that God has not destroyed the earth with fire by now, because the next time God destroys the earth, it's not going to be with water. It's going to be with fire. Because the first time that God destroyed the earth, that's when he called on Noah to build an ark of gopher wood, right? And we talked about that, I think, in the last episode, where in the book, everything goes by cubits. Everything they measure goes by cubits. But the cubits measure out of how long that ark was. It was 3 football fields long, right? So that's what, 300 yards long? So it was 3 football fields long, and it was like 6 or 7 stories high. But Noah had to have that kind of room, and God knew that Noah had to have that kind of room because of the calling he had on him. He wasn't just taking himself and his family and those who, follow God into the ark. He was also taking 2 of every animal, 2 of every creature, and 2 of every creepiest thing that crawleth upon the earth, right? So you imagine how big that ark had to be, and it took him 35 years to build it. He started building it, then his kids started helping him building it, then his kids' kids started helping him building it. It's pretty amazing. And my point to all that was the reason that God called on Noah to build the ark is because back then there was no limitation on growth. There was no limitation on age. People were living to be in their 900s, you know what I mean? And people were going into giants to be, 13 and 14 foot tall giants. I can't remember how tall Goliath was. I want to say he was like a 13, 14 foot giant, but he was huge. And then, of course, that goes back to God calling David to defeat, Goliath with a slingshot. And anyway, so the reason that God called on Noah to build the ark and to take his family in there and to save the people who were following God and to take up every 2 of every animal was because back then everybody was sinning against the earth. Here it is, God had given this earth to those folks back then to enjoy it because he wanted people to enjoy life. And a lot of those people were taking advantage of it and sinning against the earth. And that's back when homosexuality came about, and, they were just sinning against the earth and not following God. They were rejecting God. They were, not following the laws of God. And God said, man, I've had it. I'm not dealing with it no more. I've had it. And he called Noah and he said, Noah, I have called you to build the ark of gopher wood. And that's what happened. And when Noah got done building the ark, here come the flood. It started raining, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And the Bible describes it as there was so much water on the earth that no mountaintop or treetop was seen. Now you imagine how high the mountains are, right? It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights. And no mountaintop, no treetop or mountaintop, not even the highest mountaintop was seen because there was so much water. There was so much rain. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to correct myself on, Enoch. It was Enoch that the angel took and showed him all the ends of the earth of what God created. And just kind of touch base on Noah a little bit because Noah was a great prophet, man. And for those that don't know, Noah was an offspring of Adam and Eve. After Cain killed Abel, God blessed Adam and Eve with another child, which was Noah. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people do not know that. But Noah was an offspring of Adam and Eve. So, but yeah, there's so many cool stories in the Bible, guys. There's so many awesome and amazing and just such cool stories in the Bible, man. I love them. And they're so inspiring. They're life-changing. They're just things happen back then, and God showed himself back then, but he doesn't show himself like that to us anymore. We have dreams and we have visions. The Bible says, in the last days, your young people will prophesy, your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. And see, we have visions and we have dreams these days, but we don't get to see the glory of God like they did back then. God showed himself to people, just like the book of Ezekiel. God showed Ezekiel all the angels in heaven, the cherubims and the angels that have all the eyes and that have wheels within wheels within wheels. God showed Ezekiel all that. And, man, what I wouldn't do to be able to witness something like that. It'd be great for God to just open up the heavens and let us see a glimpse. If we saw just a glimpse of heaven, it would just, man, it'd be so glorious. And think about it like this. Those angels that Ezekiel saw are so powerful. Without the protection of God around Ezekiel, those angels, just the sight of those angels would have incinerated him. And it's just, there's amazing stories all through the Bible, man. Even Abraham. We'll talk about Abraham sometime. Abraham was a great prophet of God. Moses was awesome, man. I remember when God told Moses to go get the tablets, to get the stone tablets, and that he was going to give him the 10 Commandments, which was the laws of God. And when Moses went up to the mountain to get the tablets, to get the stone tablets, and to watch God write it in lightning on the tablets, the 10 Commandments. So Moses went up the mountain as a dark-haired brunette guy, right? But when he went up there, the glory of God shined on him so powerfully. The glory of God shined on Moses so strong that when he came back down the mountain, he was gray-headed. His beard was gray and his hair was gray. So it's pretty amazing, man. Those stories are awesome. We'll talk about Abraham more into the video, guys and girls. I think that's going to do it for this episode of FS25. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all always tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying the stories about the Bible. I don't know how many people out there are believers, but if you are not a believer, get your heart right, because it's coming, man. It's coming soon. And I'm telling you, all these signs and wonders that we're looking at is being fulfilled from the prophecy of God. And God warned us about it. God's been warning us about it for thousands of years. He even warned us about it back in the Old Testament. So we've all been officially warned, and we know that it's not going to be long. Jesus is going to split that eastern sky, and he's going to come through, and he's going to get all of his people and take them home. With that being said, everyone, have an amazing day. Until next time, this is CJ Farms, and one crop at a time, we are helping America grow. I will see you all in the next video. Guys, God bless you all, and have an amazing day.